It was a bitter cold evening in 1998, and Robert Henley, a 56-year-old retired firefighter, was driving home after helping distribute food at a local shelter. The streets were wet from a recent snowfall, and the wind cut through the air like glass as his truck rolled to a stop at a red light near a rundown intersection. Something out of place caught his eye movement near a trash bin beside a boarded-up building. Squinting through the foggy window, he noticed 3 little girls, huddled together, barely clothed, and visibly shivering. Robert's instincts kicked in. He pulled over without hesitation, his boots crunching the icy sidewalk as he approached. The oldest girl, no more than 9, stepped in front of the others as if to shield them. "It's okay," Robert said gently, raising his hands. "I'm not here to hurt you. Where are your parents?" The girl didn't answer at first. Her lips trembled, her eyes defiant but scared. Finally, she whispered, "They left 2 days ago. Said they'd come back. They didn't." Robert's heart ached. The girls hadn't eaten. They had no coats, no names, just first ones: Maya, Tasha, and Layla. Most people would have called child services and driven away, but Robert couldn't. Something about these girls, maybe their strength, maybe their helplessness, tugged at something deep within him. He brought them home. His old house, filled with memories of his late wife and estranged son, suddenly felt alive again. He gave them hot food, warm baths, and a safe place to sleep. The next day, after speaking with authorities, Robert made a decision that would change all their lives. He applied to foster them. Months later, after a long legal process, he became their legal guardian. People questioned him, why a single white man adopting 3 black girls? But he didn't care. He didn't see color. He saw children who needed love, and he had love to give. The girls called him Dad for the first time on Christmas morning. Robert wept. That was the day he knew he hadn't saved them. They were saving. 7 years had passed since Robert Henley opened his heart and home to Maya, Tasha, and Layla. The house that once echoed with silence now held memories, birthday parties, scraped knees, report cards pinned to the fridge, and laughter that could light up a city block. Robert, now in his 80s, walked with a cane and sat longer in his recliner, but his eyes still lit up whenever one of his girls visited. Though they'd all moved to different cities and started their own lives, they never forgot the man who gave them had become a civil rights lawyer, fiercely defending children in foster care. Tasha was a pediatric surgeon, renowned for her work in underserved communities. Layla, the youngest, had followed Robert's footsteps into public service and was now a city councilwoman. Despite their busy lives, they called every Sunday, visited monthly, and celebrated every holiday as a family. But what Robert didn't know was that his daughters were planning something summer morning. Robert was escorted by Layla to what she told him was a community dedication ceremony. Confused, but amused, he allowed her to guide him to a large park near the old neighborhood. As they turned the corner, Robert froze. There, standing before a massive crowd, was a newly built community center. On the front was a gleaming plaque that read, "The Robert Henley Foundation for Hope, in honor of a man who chose love." Overfilled his eyes as Maya stepped up to the microphone and spoke about the man who gave them a second chance. Not just at life, but at dignity and love. "Dad," she said, voice trembling, "you didn't just raise 3 girls, you raised 3 women who are changing the world. And now, we want to pass that forward. This center will be a haven for orphans, for the forgotten, for kids like we were." All because of the crowd stood in applause. Robert wept openly. The girls had repaid him not with money or fame, but with a legacy that would outlive them all. Love, it turned out, had come full circle.